Hey guys, what's going on? We're playing out the 2003 Iraq invasion all over again, and it's so goddamn transparent that it absolutely makes no sense when commentators on the left say things like this.
I think Donald Trump became president of the United States. I think this was actually a big moment.
Yeah. Just like the moment Trump became president when, I don't know, any number of things like not having sex with his daughter, or reading from a teleprompter, or dropping 59 bombs on a Syrian airbase. Yeah, that's when he became president. No, Trump is not the president yet. He hasn't become president yet. The bar is set so goddamn low for Trump to be president that we are literally looking for reasons to call him presidential at this point, but that's still not as bad as Brian Williams.
We see these beautiful pictures at night. I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen, "I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons."
Was that beautiful, Brian? Here are some things I describe as beautiful. A large animal taking care of a smaller animal. Beyonce's sonogram. Your daughter. Allison Williams is really hot though. Notice what wasn't on that list? Missile strikes on a Syrian airbase that Russian pilots also fly out of that was evacuated hours before the 59 Tomahawk missiles were fired at it, which had such little impact that Russia literally used the base only a couple hours later to issue more airstrikes on Syrians. And then you have guys like Sean Spicer trying to spice up the conversation by saying Assad is worse than Hitler. What are you, writing a high school essay?
Someone as despicable as Hitler, who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons.
Yeah, I'm not even going to dignify the insane ramblings of Daddy Spice here. We all know that Hitler used chemical weapons on 6 million Jews in Holocaust centers, also according to Spicer. By the way, calling concentration camps Holocaust centers is like saying 9/11 was just an air show that went wrong. What was truly terrifying about what Sean Spicer said is actually why he made this insane platitude, and there are two reasons for that. Okay, maybe three. One, Sean Spicer is an idiot and should never be allowed to freestyle. Seriously, Sean, you're not a rapper. Stop freestyling. Two, the Trump administration is sounding its war cry for all of our trigger-happy Americans, because who doesn't love a good fake war, especially in the red states, as long as it's away from home and they don't have to think about it. Three, in the wake of the FBI probe, the administration is trying, very desperately I might add, to distance themselves from this whole Trump is butt buddies with Putin narrative, since condemning the leaks didn't actually work. But if you need further proof about this narrative argument, you can actually see Eric Trump admitting exactly why we bombed Syria in his very obscure interview with The Telegraph about nepotism, where he actually said, and I quote, "If there was anything that Syria did, it was to validate the fact that there is no Russia tie." Eric Trump is so woefully unaware of the severity of the situation, he actually admitted his father's ulterior motive. Maybe nepotism isn't such a bad thing after all. If it gets me more Eric Trump fumbles in the news, then I'm all for it. And by the way, last time I checked, and I might be wrong on this, but Tomahawk missiles weren't exactly free. As a matter of fact, each missile costs around $800,000, which means that this strike cost American taxpayers at least $49 million. We just wasted $49 million to unite Americans behind a president that no one seems to like. We just wasted $49 million to create a counter-argument for an internal investigation between Russia and Trump's campaign. That's awful. And yet, it's still not as awful as Donald Trump's golf trips, which have cost taxpayers $21 million so far. Especially annoying and awful when you consider how much he criticized Obama for golfing and claimed he would never be golfing.
Because I'm going to be working for you. I'm not going to have time to go play golf.
Or how he'd never touch Syria.
We went from mistakes in Iraq to President Obama's line in the sand in Syria. Each of these actions have helped to throw the region into chaos and gave ISIS the space it needs.
Or how he'd put America first.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Now, I mentioned all this because, you know, he's trying to gut federal spending on the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or the State Department, or the Environmental Protection Agency, while trying to increase military spending by $54 billion. So please explain to me exactly how that puts America first. Like, what will it take for Trump supporters to realize that he's not going to fulfill any of his promises on the campaign trail? But yeah, America first, right? I'm Hassan Piker. Thank you for watching The Young Turks. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hassan D. Piker and on Twitter at Hassan the Hun. And this has been The Breakdown.